Good evening, I'm Harry Keeling, and on behalf of Alaska Public Media and the Alaskan Aviation Safety Foundation, welcome to Hangar Flying. Tonight we welcome back John Bender, who's the Deputy Commissioner for Aviation, Department of Transportation, State of Alaska. John's from Alaska originally, had a distinguished career in the Air Force, flying a number of different aircraft, including the F-15, and want to come back to that towards the end of this program, talk a little bit about flying the Eagle. But last time, if you tuned in, John was talking about some of the decisions that are facing the state when it comes to infrastructure and the way forward. So welcome back, John.
Thank you. Great to be here.
The one question that we didn't hit upon, we talked about different categories of airports, 249 total. How about maintenance? How is that handled? Snow plowing and
Sure.
things like that.
Okay, well, we had talked about our certificated airports, which tend to be the larger ones that jets are flying into, Alaska, Raven, those types of folks. And most of those are hub airports, Bethel, Barrow, Deadhorse, those larger type. And we have actually DOT personnel located at each of those all the time who maintain those facilities. However, each one of those hubs serves as the hub for a whole wide range of village airports surrounding each of those communities. And so out of that 249 you just listed there, we've got about 170 that we consider our village airports. 150 of those are maintained by a local resident within that community. So the state contracts with a local resident there to provide that service. The state provides the equipment, the building to put the equipment in, the training in a lot of cases for those people as well. And it's their responsibility then to keep that runway open, keep it plowed, do runway checks each day, those sorts of things, replace burned out light bulbs, etc.
Wow, what a service. And you had mentioned last time 82% of the communities need the air service. Wow, keeping the airfields open like that is incredible. So thank you, and thank your people that make that happen.
It's our pleasure.
Let's shift gears a little bit. We've got a couple of minutes here. Let's talk about flying. You've got a lot of experience. F-15 at Elmendorf?
Yep.
So what was that like?
Boy, it's a lot of fun. It's the best airplane in the world. I'm a little biased, of course, but had a thrill flying that. Got to fly another tour in Idaho for several years as well. And then pretty much the rest of my career was made up with several different flying assignments, teaching new guys, teaching basic pilot training and fighter lead-in and some of those other courses, which frankly, from a job satisfaction overall standpoint, I actually enjoyed those more just from the thrill of seeing people learn, seeing people get it there after hours of putting that effort into them.
Well, the Eagle has been a stalwart fighter for many, many years. And a lot of countries around the world fly it, and still the U.S. Air Force. Let's bring it home to Alaska. We got a pretty dismal safety record in Alaska. Unfortunately, despite everything we try and do, we've got a significant amount of fatal and serious injury accidents. What one thing would you say maybe could help reverse that trend?
You know, I don't know if you can put your finger on one particular thing, but certainly we all know flying is very unforgiving there, and particularly in Alaska when we get the huge changes in weather overnight or really quickly, and fast train differences as well. Certainly the training, I think, is where I would hang my hat for the most part, and I think from my observations, it's the folks you see who try to take advantage of a nice sunny day and then have things go south on them when they aren't as proficient as they potentially could be, either in the aircraft or with the procedures they're trying to fly. The other aspect of that is sometimes our airports, thankfully, the accidents over the last few years haven't been related to the airports, but certainly that's my goal as Deputy Commissioners, to make sure the airports aren't contributing to those. And I guess that's what I would put out to your audience is, I mentioned those village airports, and it's not very often that we're able to get actual DOT people out there to inspect those and see the things that aren't going right. And so we're always soliciting feedback. Certainly if anybody sees anything out there that needs to be fixed or isn't working right, call me directly if you have to, because as soon as we find out, we make sure those are taken care of.
You're going to publish your phone number?
I've got a work one I can make available to you.
No, I think that's a great idea. In fact, I bet you there's probably people out there that would happily provide you feedback.
We solicit it anytime we can get it. Absolutely.
John, thank you for being on the program. Thanks for what you and your people do for the state of Alaska and keeping the lifeline open. So I really enjoyed having you on the program.
That was a pleasure. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed tonight's program. I'd like to remind you that the Alaskan Aviation Safety Foundation is totally member supported. And as we move towards November, we'll start our campaign to sign you up for another year. It's $35 for an individual, $110 for corporate membership. We give you hangar flying twice a week. We award 3 scholarships. We do 2 safety seminars, but we couldn't do it without your help. So please go on our website, which you see on the screen, and renew your membership or start a new one if you don't have one. And until next time, fly safe.